Today we're going to be talking about 5 signs that you're in a twin flame relationship. Hello, my little wonderbugs. Thank you for joining me here on my channel. And for those of you that are new, my name is Maria Isul. I am a professional tarot card reader and a witch. So as you saw from the very beginning of the video, we're talking about the 5 signs that you're in a twin flame relationship. Now, considering that it's February, I thought, hey, this would be a perfect video. And this is going to come out the day before Valentine's Day. So it's a good thing to watch just to make sure if you are in a twin flame relationship or not. But most likely, if you're watching this, you probably are in a twin flame relationship because, source or whatever you want to call it has brought you to this video because of that reason. Now, before I start telling you the 5 reasons that you might be in a twin flame relationship, let me just say one thing. This is not the be-all on twin flame relationships. This is just my experience and things that I've seen in my clients that are in twin flame relationships and the patterns that they normally are in. So as Ethany likes to say, take what resonates and leave the rest behind. The first sign that you're in a twin flame relationship is magnetic meeting, meaning that when you meet this person, you feel like if you've known them for years, like they have always been in your life, even though they are complete strangers to you for the most part, because it's not somebody that you've known for a couple days or something in that nature. And all of a sudden you just go, you're kind of cute. It's automatic. The minute that you set eyes on that person, you know that there is something more than just a cute face. There is something deeper and more. It's hard to explain, but it's something deeper that cannot be explained by words. That's the best way I could put it. This is where we get words like love at first sight or whirlwind relationships. Sign number 2 is what I like to call yin-yang similarities, meaning that you guys are very much opposites. But at the same time, you work together very well. You come together very well. You fit where the other person is missing something. You fit that hole. And the reason for this is because you're literally twins, twin flames, hence the word twin flames. You are the other half of that person. Now, a good way of identifying those yin-yang type of differences are you have a huge age gap, or a very large age gap at least 10 years. You come from 2 very different ethnic backgrounds. You are, let's say one of you is liberal, the other one's very conservative. One is very outgoing, where one is more introverted, so forth and so forth. But even though you have all these differences, you still work very well together. You mesh really well together. So it's not a, you don't argue about your differences. You respect each other's differences, and you can see the other's point of view while still keeping your point of view. This is where you get the word opposites attract and the odd couple. Now, the 3rd sign that you're in a twin flame relationship is synchronicity. Now, synchronicity can happen at any moment in time in your relationship. It can happen years later. It could happen right away. It can even happen before you even meet the person. And what it is that you see certain patterns over and over again playing out in your life randomly in either a short period of time or in a long period of time. And it could stop and then start over again. And what it is that it's your higher self or your spirit guides or the powers that be, whatever you want to call it, letting you know that either your twin flame is on its way, meaning if you're separate, you're not with that person at the current moment, they're coming back to you, or it's letting you, or it's reminding you, that's the best way I could put it. It's reminding you that that person is still your twin flame, and you might still have unfinished business with your twin flame. And I say that because there are a lot of, I guess you could say, periods in your life with your twin flame that you have to go through first. So the synchronicity can happen at any moment of those times. A good example of synchronicity with my experience is that, for instance, I will be driving along and all of a sudden a car next to me, which is advertising a business or something, the business name happens to be the last name of my twin flame. Or I will see his name pop up in odd places. I could be walking down the mall and somebody will call out his name. Or I'll see the number 1111 or 66 or 88. Simple ways of seeing those numbers would be like the change that you get back when you buy something. You're not even thinking about your twin flame, and all of a sudden you get 1111. $11.11 back in change. Those are the synchronicities. Those are the patterns that you have to watch out for, because that usually means that your twin flame is either on his way or you have to do something. There's something that has to be done that the powers that be are telling you, hey, look, you got to fix this, or you got to like talk to them, or you have to do something, or they're coming. This is your chance to do certain work that you haven't done with them yet. Number 4 is what I like to call the runner. And the runner is basically that at one point in your relationship, whether you guys were together for 3 months or 4 years, eventually one of you is going to run away from the relationship. Now, that necessarily doesn't mean that the relationship is over. It just means that at that moment in time, your partner, I'm assuming it's your partner, because if you're watching this, you're probably the one that doesn't want to run away. Because one of you is going to want to fix the relationship. One of you is going to want to get back together. One of you is willing to do the work and put in the time to make the relationship what it was or what it really is. But the other person usually runs away from the relationship. Why? Because of its intensity and overwhelming sense of maybe losing themselves. And also, sometimes they feel like if they're not worthy of that type of relationship, usually meaning that one of you has lived more lives than the other. And because of this, one of you is way more mature than the other. And in that sense, the one that is more mature is the one that is still holding on and waiting for the runner to come back, which will happen periodically through their lives until a certain thing is resolved. And usually it's the runner that needs to resolve an issue. There is something that they have to learn. There is something that they have to grow at. Spiritual lesson that they have to learn, that before the two of you were born, you agreed to help the other person. Sadly, that relationship usually, or relationships like that, when you're in the runner stage, it's not the best relationship. Now, the way that you know that you're in that stage of the runner is because your partner will stop communicating as much. They will be very distant, where they were very much in your lives and wanted to be part of your life and wanted to be every damn freaking day be together. Now they're very distant, and they give you excuses that aren't realistic, or they're kind of silly excuses that you're just like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you not want to hang out because of this? Or why are you changing our plans when we decided that we were going to do this? And that's what the signs that you got to start looking at. And no, usually they're not with anyone else. There's no other woman or man in their lives. It's just that they feel that it's way too intense, that it's way too more than what they are okay with, usually because they are not spiritually mature for that kind of relationship just yet. Now, number 5 is the breakup. And yes, all twin flames break up. This is gonna happen. It doesn't matter what you do, how much you love them, how much you care about them, how much you feel connected to them, they are going to break up with you. There's going to be a breakup of some sort or kind. Now, during that breakup, the initial breakup usually is horrendous. Usually you can have a mental breakdown. It's very, very tough because you are disconnecting from a part of yourself. or they are disconnecting from you. And it can be very traumatic, not just spiritually, but emotionally, just all encompassing. It could be very all encompassing traumatic to the point that you could become suicidal. Your friends could be very concerned about your well-being because of this breakup. Because it's not just a regular breakup. You're breaking up with a piece of yourself, with a person who is more than just a person to you. It's more than the stereotypical physical relationships that most people have that are not twin flame relationships. So imagine tearing out a piece of your soul. That is literally what is happening. That is literally how it feels. The upside to this is that it's temporary. It is not permanent. This breakup is not permanent. Let me say that again. It is not permanent. It will continue. This time that you are apart from each other is the time where you will start to grow more spiritually. And it's a time for you to work on yourself, not worry about them, because they are off doing something that they need to do first before they can come back to you. Now, some twin flames will come back and leave, come back and leave, and just continue doing this cycle until they are perfectly sure that they are ready to come back for sure, permanently. Now, on the downside to this, not all twin flame relationships end up together. Yes, they come back, they resolve their issues with you or you with them. And there's like this sort of temperance of your feelings and of your heart towards them. And what it is that you've learned whatever lesson that you were supposed to learn. Now, at that point, you may end up together. You may end up together and be just as in love as you were when you first met. But sometimes twin flame relationships decide that they just want to be friends, or they just want to be acquaintances, or they're just sort of like, I'm good, thank you very much. And I've had those twin flame relationships with my clients that they're like, I'm okay. Like, I love this person, but I don't want to necessarily be in that relationship again. But they still love that person and they're okay with it. They've found this sort of inner peace because in that time that they are apart from their twin flame, they learn to love themselves just as much. So that same love that they get from their twin flame, that's like intense, they are able to manifest it within themselves, meaning that they feel it from within. They don't need any external uses or external objects or people to give them that same sort of sense of belonging and wholeness. And that's usually what ends up happening. Now, when that happens for the two of you, like I said, there's a good chance you might end up together. You might come back to each other, and that is beautiful and wonderful. And it's really what a lot of us want with our twin flame relationships. But they don't always end up like that. And it really depends on your journey and how you planned it before you were born, how you guys planned it out for it to turn out, for it to be what the lesson you were supposed to learn. And both of you are on the same journey. So it's not one or the other. And because of this, sometimes these journeys or these times apart from each other can last 6 months to several years. You might even get married to someone else, fall in love with someone else, get married, have kids, and then something happens that you're no longer married for whatever reason with that person, and then you reconnect with each other through synchronicity because you will start seeing them in different places. It'll be just sort of out of the blue. It won't be you calling them up or them calling you. It'll be like you bump into the supermarket or bump in the supermarket, not the supermarket bumps into you. You know what I'm saying? But it'll be things like that. And that's how you'll know that it's time for you guys to come back together. So those are the 5 signs that you're in a twin flame relationship. Now remember, guys, I am not the be all end all about twin flame relationships. This is just my experience with my twin flame and also what I've witnessed and seen with my clients. So take what resonates and forget about the rest. Also, guys, don't forget that I have a sale going on my website for $25 for a video love reading. Regular price is $45, so you get a really nice discount right there, and it's all for the month of February. So don't wait too long because the slots are actually going pretty quick. Other than that, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow me on my social media where I do little updates on what's going on here for this channel and for my business. If you guys have any questions about twin flames or you want to talk about your twin flame, leave the comment down below. Other than that, guys, much love and blessings.